Hello and welcome to the JaiRell experience presented by Tyrell Carley
and Jai Matthews. Now today we're going to have a look at a book we've both been reading called The Tattooist of Auschwitz by Heather Morris.
Right, so this book is about a guy in Auschwitz who got given the job as the tattooer.
Hence the name.
Yes, hence the name. And he finds love in Auschwitz. And there's multiple points we have written down to talk about.
It's an amazing tale. I personally loved the book from cover to cover. But before we go into the book, let's talk about our sponsor, mybraincells.cf.
But more on that a bit later.
Good. Alright, so Tyrell, this book contains themes of survival, resilience, morality, faith, optimism, sacrifice, empathy, knowledge, power, love, and countless others.
Yes.
But let's just focus on one of them. How about cruelty?
Yeah, cruelty. Yeah.
Alright, so let's just focus on that one. Any thoughts as to how the author presents this theme?
Oh, well, obviously it's going to be, there's going to be lots of cruelty since we're in, Auschwitz,
yes,
the
obviously.
infamous concentration camp in Poland. But it's, it's just very inhumane, like the main character of the story, Lael, he was given the job of tattooing people in their numbers, right? And they're given very, real descriptions of, rushing the blood, like all the blood and all that, and I can only imagine all the infections that could happen and, amputations.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of people assume that cruelty means like attacking someone or hurting someone, but cruelty can also be psychological.
Yes.
Multiple points throughout the book, we hear Lael really traumatized by the theory that he is having to permanently mark these people.
Yeah, I got a quote here saying, how can someone do this to another human being? He wonders for the rest of his life to be short or to be long. I botched that. Yeah. But pretty much, he's wondering that, like, the cruelty of like putting that in, and it's like wondering, like, while doing this, how long will I live for?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just in these horrible conditions.
I love the line in that. He wonders if he will be defined by this moment, this irregular number, 32407.
Yes, which he was for
exactly
for a long while, but a short part of his life. He lived for quite a good age.
Yeah,
I forget exactly.
He was very lucky to do that.
Yeah.
But I love this line. The fact that he's realizing that his entire personality is defined by a number. Yes. Interestingly, a postal code in Florida, but that's not important. This really shows themes of cruelty and specifically dehumanization, which is really upsetting.
That was their point. The Nazis trying to dehumanize the Jews and all other non-Aryan
and it's
races.
It really, really is upsetting to read, and it invokes a feeling of empathy. Which, well, let's talk about the empathy in the book. How does the author invoke those feelings?
Well, I'm a sociopath, so I can't really talk about that. But you do feel bad for the for Lael and the other people in the book. I forget the name, mental blank.
Yeah.
It's like horrible conditions you read. Like I think I can't remember if this is.
Here's something I've got. So at some point in the book, you'll remember where the tattooer, Lael, saves Jacob from, he would obviously have died because of his stature. Yeah. Later on in the book, when Lael is caught, Jacob is actually finds him in a prison cell, and this is a really heartbreaking scene. I'll just read a short extract from the book here. Page 157 for the viewers listening. Jacob, is that you? Jacob enters the room, the low ceiling forcing him to stoop. Tattooer, what are you doing here? Jacob is visibly shocked. Lael struggles to his feet, his hand outstretched. I often wondered what had happened to you, he says. As he predicted, they found work for me. So you're not a guard? Not just a guard, my friend. Jacob's voice is grim. Sit and eat, and I'll tell you what I do here, and what will happen to you. Apprehensively, Lael sits and looks at the food Jacob has given him. a thin, dirty broth containing a single piece of potato. Starving a few moments ago, he finds his appetite has now left him. "I've never forgotten your kindness," Jacob says. "I was sure you would die of starvation the night I arrived here, and there you were to feed me." Anyway, this goes on to reveal that Jacob has actually been forced into a job where he tortures people.
Yeah.
And now it's
once friends,
exactly.
but still, you have to do what you can to survive, else,
Exactly.
you'll die.
And it's really upsetting to hear Jacob talk like this, especially when it's revealed that Jacob is now going to be forced by the Nazis to torture the person who saved his life.
Yeah, and plus, like, if he doesn't, Lael will most probably die. Like, as well as Jacob.
Yeah, here's the line. "I am here to beat you until you give me names. I'm a killer, Lael." Really heartbreaking.
Yes.
The fact that the authors use really emotive language is just really upsetting to listen to.
Yeah, it's really something.
It makes you understand what it was like in the camps.
Well, anyway, before we get on to our next question,
yes,
we will go to our sponsor.
Let's talk about our sponsor, mybraincells.cf. Now, attention, old dumbasses. Have you lost your brain cells?
Of course you have.
And do you want them back?
Of course you do.
Well, you're not going to get them back unless you go to mybraincells.cf and find 24 hilariously funny jokes written by mybraincells.cf's extremely talented joke writers. Experience a serene experience on the website with its state-of-the-art HTML. My Brain Cells offers many other services, such as a Discord server, a Discord webhook, and different themes for special occasions. And now, for a limited time, experience all of what MyBrainCells.cf has to offer for free.
This advertisement was sponsored by My Brain Cells. Terms of service apply to anyone who uses the services. Anyone caught breaking the terms of services will be placed on the My Brain Cells list of shame, or they will face imprisonment up to 65 years. The Saving and Conservation Act of My Brain Cells Act of 1984.
MyBrainCells.cf, a proud sponsor of the JaiRell experience.
Yes, I remember when it first came out. It was really something new.
Yeah, it was amazing.
But okay, let's go on to the next one.
Yeah, I agree. So, we actually mentioned just then that the emotive language used in the book allows you to empathise with the characters, to experience through reading what they actually experience in real life. And that is a really heartbreaking thing about this book, the fact that reading it, that it is entirely accurate.
Oh, well...
But we actually did some research, and we think it might not be as accurate as the book tries to convince you.
Well, the author, Heather, and the Auschwitz memorial, have been feuding, the memorial claims that there are many mistakes in the books. They have claimed that it's dangerous and disrespectful to history. The Auschwitz memorial has quoted.
Yeah, I can understand that. If it's promoting just false facts, it's understandable how it can be dangerous. Especially if it's presenting those facts as accurate. Do you have any specific examples?
Oh, well, there's like Lael getting hold of penicillin. That was impossible because the drug was still in trial and research back then. Yeah, it was.
Oh, that's
so that would have been impossible, and and inaccurate descriptions of the train route, and that Lael took to Auschwitz.
Yeah,
and
well, it really is. Well, I didn't actually know that. That's really upsetting that the book was like
Heather Morris has stated herself that the story is a blend of fact and fiction, but it says in the book, it's here.
At the very start, doesn't it say something about how accurate it is?
Oh, well, it says here it's a work of fiction, but in other, things here, it also says that it's a true story as well, so...
I remember because I read a few...
So that's just the confusing quote.
Because after I read the book, I went to the end and read a few of the additional notes they put in this edition. Yeah. And it turns out Heather Morris and the actual person it's based on, Lael, underwent intense collaboration. Yes. Which makes you think that it's entirely accurate.
Yes.
But it's not, which is really a shame.
Yes, it's really like interesting. Yes, and they spelt Lael's name wrong. It's spelt.
Wait, really?
Yes, of course. No, of course, Jesus Christ.
Oh,
but anyway, I think so. It's spelt in the book Laele.
Wait, so they don't actually spell it like that?
No.
Seriously?
Yeah, I'm being serious.
How
They actually spell it Lail.
Oh my god, how could they have made such a mistake like that? Wow.
Well, I don't know. Maybe they were trying to anglicise the name.
True,
maybe.
good point. Or maybe it's just a translation.
Maybe maybe Heather wasn't listening hard enough.
Good point. That could have been it. Yeah, maybe Heather zoned out.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, yeah, that's an interesting point about the historical accuracy.
Yeah.
And it is frightening to hear that the Auschwitz Memorial actually came out and said that it was disrupting the history, which is really upsetting. I mean, that information alone has probably soured my opinion of the book slightly.
Yeah, well, yeah, it kind of did mine because, it's kind of giving off a mixed message here.
Exactly, yeah. It's arguing that it's accurate, but really it's not.
Well, it's confusing, because when I read this, didn't Heather Morris, talk to this Lael for months and until his death?
And I also heard that some of the other descriptions as to what exactly happened in the book weren't accurate. For example, I read in an article that it was completely implausible that Lael and Geeta would have had sex.
Oh, yes, I read that as well.
So it's clear that they have fictionalized a large portion of the book, which definitely should have been mentioned more at the start, which is a shame. But I personally still really like the book.
For this, it just blemishes the book for me a bit, but it's still a alright read. I wish that, to their credit in this Yar edition, they did mention it in the beginning, in the very first page.
That's true.
But who reads that? To be fair, who reads that?
Yes. Yeah.
And then they go on with the just before the actual book starts, they go on how they actually talk to the thing, making it feel like, oh, this is a real story.
Exactly, yeah.
But
now before we go, we're just going to call you, the viewers, and see if you have any questions about it.
Yeah.
Ring, 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 ring. Oh, hello, viewer. Do you have any questions for us about the book?
Yes. So how can what can we learn, and how can we
Hello, viewer. Sorry, you're cutting out.
Oh crap! I think our viewer just died.
Okay.
Let's get another viewer.
Yeah, let's call someone else. That didn't really work.
I'll call him this time. Okay. Ring, ring, ring. Hello, viewer.
Hello. I was just wondering, what is the merit to this book? Why is it useful for historical reasons? What historical merits does it have for education about the past?
Well, this hung up. Okay, bit rude. Okay, so now as this is a good segue into what we were just talking about, the accuracy. Now,
that's a good point.
What we were talking about, that it's really not accurate, but I think it does have some merit. showing how cruel and the concentration camps were.
Exactly.
And all that.
Even though it isn't 100% accurate, it still has value.
Yeah, it still has value.
Because it still teaches you, maybe not in perfect detail, but it still teaches you regardless about the past and about the really important thing to learn, that is the Holocaust.
Yes, the Holocaust. It's a horrible thing. 6 million Jews dead?
Yeah, that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, more people. Well, my great uncle was chucked in a concentration camp. So
exactly, and it's works of fiction like this and first-hand accounts that make it less about the actual number of how many people died and more about engaging modern people with a sense of empathy about what happened, so they can really understand the horrific events that happened less than 100 years ago.
Yeah. It'd be 70?
80 years ago.
80 odd years ago.
Yeah, 81. Anyway, yeah. that's probably all we have time for today.
We want to thank our sponsor again,
Yes.
mybraincells.cf, a proud recurring supporter of,
thank
of
you.
the JaiRell experience.
Thank you, mybraincells.cf.
Yes,
And we will be back next week.
All right, goodbye.